Jonathan was certain he'd seen a bull elk along the far side of the river, but by the time he'd settled into position for a shot, the beast had disappeared into the trees. The elk hadn't run, though. Jonathan took that as evidence that he wasn't spooked. There was a good chance, then, that the bull, or one of the cows he was no doubt trying to impress with his big rack of antlers, might follow the same trail back this way. Jonathan had allotted 5 days for this hunt, and today was only the first. He had plenty of time to show patience. This was his favorite part of any hunt. He didn't get enough silence in his life these days. Sometimes solitude worked against him, dredging up images and events that he'd rather forget. But so far, the demons had all stayed away. He considered those demons to be an occupational hazard, having spent so much time in nasty places doing nasty chores to protect innocents from nasty people. In many ways, on a hunt like this, pulling the trigger and dropping the animal was a letdown. Not that he felt guilty about filling his freezer with 200 pounds of deliciousness, but because the gunshot marked the end of the silence. The radio in the pocket of his chest rig popped as it broke squelch. "Scorpion, big guy." He and Boxers had had those radio handles since their army days with the unit, and old times died hard. Jonathan reached under the blaze-orange vest he wore over his camoed chest rig and keyed the mic. "Go ahead," he whispered. God had blessed Elk with amazing ears. He didn't want to waste these past hours by making noise. "Gotta take a break, boss," Boxer said. "We got a visitor. We're coming your way." Boxers knew better than to break a moment like this, so whoever the visitor was, it had to be important. Smart Money said it was a game warden. Jonathan muttered a curse under his breath as he flexed his knees, straightened his back, and stood. He let his Vortex Viper binoculars fall against his chest by their lanyard and slung his rifle. "Are you coming to me, or are we meeting in the middle?" "We'll come to you." As he waited, Jonathan brought his binoculars back up to his eyes and scanned the opposite bank again. Believing with all his soul that Murphy and his law ruled the universe, he knew that if Mr. Elk were going to make a surprise appearance, it would be now, when Jonathan was out of position, or in a few minutes when he'd be locked in conversation.